Okay, well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, we're live here. We're actually live on YouTube as well, getting all this stuff started. So, hopefully, why can't I see myself? This is kind of crazy.
We can see
So,
you.
hopefully, if you can see me, I can't see myself. That's amazing. So, anyway, just there we go. There we are. So, we're super excited to be here tonight. Obviously, I'm Greg, and this is my beautiful, amazing wife, Minna, and we're actually broadcasting live out of just a little bit north of Sarasota, Florida. And we're super excited to share something with you tonight. My wife always does the housekeeping because she's the attorney, so I'll have her kind of kick off the housekeeping, and then we are going to get started. But one thing I want you to do, though, if you could do me a favor, if you have people that are on here, let us know in the chat who's on here that you invited, and if they're not on here, make sure you send them a quick text, shoot them a quick call. Make sure you're muted when you make the phone call. But anyway, so shoot them a quick text and say, hey, we're live. Here's the link again. Get on, because we want to have people get on tonight, and you're going to love what we're going to share tonight. So I'll have my wife do the housekeeping. Here's my beautiful wife,
Yeah,
Mena.
so thank you all for being on this evening. And this is really all about the new people and exposing this amazing technology, which we're not telling you that it mitigates or heals or does any miracles, but we do know that it's helping a lot of our friends and family across the world. So if you have invited someone and you don't see them on here, please do give them a quick call so they can jump on and be a part of this awesome community.
Yes, awesome. So our goal here today is to go through this pretty quickly with about a half an hour, explain what we're doing, how we're doing it. But again, this technology has been life changing for myself personally. It's been phenomenal for my wife, for friends, family, acquaintances, everything else. But literally for me, back in 2016, I actually had a car accident where someone slammed in the back of my car. I slammed the van in front of me because I was at a standstill. They were going about 60 miles an hour. My car became an accordion, and unfortunately, so did my spine. So it damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. A couple years later, after going through all these different chiropractic and acupuncture, everything imaginable, and that you could possibly think about that I've gone through, basically spending $400 or $500 a month and all kinds of things to mitigate the challenges that I had. I still was working out and trying to do different things, and I'm part of a group that we actually tackled a 5-story building. We went up and down the building 18 times to represent the amount of stairs the firefighters did on 9/11. That was 9/11/2021. Unfortunately, I injured my knee in that, which then months later affected my right hip. All I can tell you is that I had a lot of challenges going on. And when my friend told me about this patch, I heard a little bit about it, didn't know much about it. He said, you got to try this. I said, I'll try anything. 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back, gone. I'm like, what in the world is this? How does this thing work? And Lily found out that when we talk about this elevates what they call GHK copper peptides. It activates stem cells that regenerates your body. And we're going to talk more about that. And one of the things that we found out about this was, once again, the company now is a 20-year-old company. At the time, it was an 18-year-old company. And Lily's is 2 years ago. And we're like, oh my goodness, this company is growing like crazy, but the product itself flat out works. And we found out about David Schmidt, who's the CEO and inventor of the X39. We've got a chance to know him now, get a chance to meet with him many, many times. He's got over 130 patents. Literally, it's got a lot more than that. I stopped counting at 130, but basically he's a scientist and inventor specializing in age reversing. Thank God for people who do this, right? I mean, Lilly specialized in age reversing. In 2008, he focuses attention on stem cell research because back 20 years ago, he was working with the Navy SEALs and also the submariners, actually helping them stay alert for 36 hours during these critical missions. He said, if we could create a wearable technology that Lilly could keep them alert, they could bring with them in the field, what a great thing. And then he was able to do that. And Lilly, since then, he's created all kinds of different things. But when he launched this product, back in 2019, the company grew like crazy, but this one product, X39, took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. And that's the reason, once again, we tell people don't take this lightly. It's been researched, and since then, the company's grown astronomically, and we'll talk more about that.
So my story, just to backtrack a little bit, I was really skeptical when I heard about this product, and I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. And what really solidified it for me was when I saw that there is a patent that is a legal document. I'm sure you understand a lot of work, a lot of research goes into registering a patent, and a lot of money. You cannot have a patent registered unless it's proved that there is no other product similar to the one that you're patenting, and then also that all the factual information in that patent are actually proven. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, and that they actually make it available for us to read on This Is It Info, the website. You can actually go and read this if you'd like, is amazing. So it was there in black and white. And And I read things like this: embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. And honestly, many of those we have experienced personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the one thing we found out about too is the company now is a 20-year-old company, but then it was an 18-year-old company. Basically went from 20 million and has grown like crazy. Last year, basically from 20 million in 2019 to 430 million this past year. And literally this year, they're expected to go well over 600 million. It's open on over now, actually 80 countries is what they just broadcast the other day. They talked about that now they're in over 80 countries. But the thing I love about it, it's not a Me Too product. What do we mean by that? There's a lot of other products out there that, once again, you think about weight loss and skincare and supplements and CBDs and essential oils, a lot of companies that do all this stuff. And I can pretty much buy this stuff anywhere now. It seems like I can buy it through Amazon, buy wherever. But what it is, and when we talk to people though about those products, they're like, oh yeah, I'm using this and I'm using that, I'm using this. And they talk about that. When I talk about a stem cell activation patch, people lean forward, they go, what is it and how does that work? I had a person yesterday that said the exact same thing, word for word. He goes, whoa, wait a minute, slow down. What is that again? I said a stem cell activation patch. He goes, oh my goodness, tell me more. It's pretty amazing what happens. So the one part that maybe you didn't know, and I didn't know this, we've run into one person so far of all the people we talked to that actually knew this, but basically what happens is you start experiencing aging, because what happens is you start growing, then you basically stop growing, and then your stem cells start becoming more deactivated. So what happens by the time you're 30, you have half the stem cell activity that you had when you were younger at the age of 30. By the time you're 60, you have 5 to 10% maybe, is what they said, based upon your lifestyle and everything else. Thus the reason for slowing down the aches and pains, the memory loss, all the kind of stuff that actually happens. But now when you start activating these stem cells and things start happening in your body, it's amazing the changes that happen.
So how the X39 works, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. So a lot of people understand light therapy, red light therapy, the beds that people go lie on under the red lights, that it is healing for the body. And this is a similar thing. It uses a frequency. It is patented nanocrystal technology. It's all organic. There's nothing that is, chemical in this. There's no drugs, no stimulants. It's not invasive and not transdermal, and it reflects light off our own body to activate it. And so we also do like to give disclosures. So it's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. And
what's interesting is the way it was explained to me also, they said we experience phototherapy every single day when we go out in the sun. The sun's light basically comes out in rays of light, which is a frequency of light that hits our biggest organ, which is our skin. Our skin is our biggest organ. And when it actually hits our skin, it elevates things in our body, like vitamin D. Most people say, oh yeah, I know I get vitamin D from the sun. Well, the sun's not pushing out vitamin D. What it's doing though, it's interacting with our skin based upon the frequency from the sun, the frequency that we're emitting, and literally activates things in our body. So what this acts is, if I had two magnets here, they'd stick all day long, but if I flip one over, it basically repels the other magnet. So that's what this does. Basically our body's healing light hit the patch, reflect back in, activate those GHK copper peptides that do all this stuff, which is amazing. It's pretty awesome.
So this is a topography map of a participant who is 77 years old. And she was asked to place the X39 on the back of the neck because David wanted to test for inflammation. He wanted to show inflammation specifically in her brain, because that's the only organ that he really scanned. And you can see session 1 just before she puts the patch on, and she was told not to change anything else. So the only thing that she changed in this whole test was to wear the X39 and to wear it consistently at the back of her neck, and to stay hydrated, drinking good water. So scan 1 shows a lot of bright red and orange, meaning that there is a lot of inflammation in the brain, very little brain coherence. The brain cells are not cooperating. Session 2, 3 weeks later, same woman doing exactly the same thing. A lot of those red and orange, bright orange colors are detoxed. No longer there, meaning that there is improved brain coherence and less inflammation in the brain. And that's 3 weeks later. Session 3, only 6 weeks later. And he actually stresses it, from session 1 to session 3, 6 weeks. A complete turnaround. The blue hues and green hues in that scan are very balanced. You can see it's like kind of spread all over. So definitely better brain coherence and a complete turnaround. And all she did was actually just wear the X39. He said that if he had scanned every other organ in her brain,
Or her body.
in her body, sorry. It would probably have looked like her brain did at session 1.
Absolutely. And so what's interesting is there's a lot of benefits. We get pages and pages and pages, but just to highlight a few. Once again, a lot of people, as you age, once again, they talk about decreased muscle strength and everything. So it increases your strength pretty dramatically. If you notice, reduced inflammation, like we talked about, that's a huge thing because that's like the root cause of every pretty much disease. So increased stamina is what people are looking for, increased energy and vitality. Just think about the people, the pills they take, the drinks they drink, all the different stuff to just do some of these things, right? Mental clarity. Here's another one. People popping pills, drinking stuff to basically have mental clarity. It helps with that dramatically. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions. Again, I went to my chiropractor and Lily, he couldn't even adjust me after a week and a half by using this patch because he's like, going, your body's in perfect homeostasis. What in the heck are you doing? Again, improvement of sleep. My wife could tell you over and over and over about the sleep improvement she has. It's been absolutely staggering. Improved skin appearance. And this is nothing when you talk about increasing collagen levels, hashtag collagen increasing, right? It's pretty awesome. What happens is that you understand that this is really achieving optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. That's the definition of optimal health, and that's what we help people do.
So the long-term results per case studies, and you can go take a look at this on thisisit.info.com. So the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. That is a lot of genes. So, sometimes our computers get bogged down and they're slow. And what do? We reset them, and then it just gives them that extra oomph to work properly. And 4,000 genes in our body resetting, my goodness, no wonder we all are hyped up and have a lot of energy. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. We just saw that in the topography map. Within 3 months, our own collagen is increased. I'm not taking shots and powders and all sorts of things. Within 6 months, heart reverses in age. And David Schmidt is as bold as to say it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing.
Yeah, and even with like the 6 months heart reversing, they said on the studies that they've done, an average of 8 years younger in 6 months. I've never seen anything like this. It's absolutely staggering. So how we wear this is simple. We wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I've got actually an alarm in my phone. I just set alarm my daughter's phone just yesterday. My alarm is at 9 a.m. and I take it off at 9 p.m. So at 9 a.m. when I put the patch on, 9 p.m. tonight, I'll be taking the patch off, throwing it out, and then putting a new patch on tomorrow at 9 a.m. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You want to activate and stimulate, but then at night you want to rest and rejuvenate. And then the other part is drinking lots of good water. So we recommend spring water, all kinds of different waters that have minerals in it. And if you do drink purified water, that's fine. The challenge with that, there's no minerals in that. They might put a little tiny sodium in it for taste because purified water is usually dead water. So we usually recommend adding minerals, adding electrolytes, adding Celtic salt, different things like that. That's going to help you mineralize because that's going to help you with basically getting rid of antitoxins and stuff like that, which is pretty cool and really get that healing going, which is pretty awesome. So there's a ton of different testimonials that we could share. One thing I'm going to do is have my wife share her testimony in a minute, a little bit about some of the things she's seen. But the part that I want you to understand is this is such a simple to explain product, but the product's very sophisticated. If you understood, it'd take 10 years, $4.5 million to actually do that. But these testimonials are life changing. The best thing about it absolutely works. X39 absolutely works. We tell people all the time that what we notice with most people, typically the numbers are that 80% of the people notice something significant with the first 30 days. 97% of the people notice something significant with the first 90 days. So we recommend a 90-day run, but we've had people like me 3 days later, people that are one patch wonders, they put the patch on, they wonder where their ailments go, right? We've had other people, it takes weeks, it takes months. It's based upon you. Every body is different. But some of the people that have actually endorsed this or basically have used this for their patients, here's a doctor, Dr. Adam Shiner, who's actually up in Tampa. He's a plastic surgeon, and he talks about this. He said that normally the recovery, when he does this laser eyelid and facial plastic surgery, took normally 5 to 7 weeks for recovery. He started using this patch, and they started using it even 30 days prior to the procedure. He said, if you want to be a patient of mine, you got to use this patch. And a lot of people started using it. Now the recovery time, instead of being a month and a half to 2 months, is 7 to 10 days, a week to a week and a half. So he said, again, this product works, and the healing they're seeing is dramatic. Other people, like once again, that Dr. Leland Stillman, who's actually an expert in light therapy, he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment and these red light therapy beds and all this kind of stuff that he uses. He's like, what is this tiny little patch going to do? And Lily explains in the video on our website, thisisit.info.com, it's the third video down. He explains, he goes, he uses these red light therapy beds and everything else. He said that's like high level intense red light therapy for short periods of time, usually 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, depending on the patient. And what happens, he said, this is interesting. This is small. It basically is a longer period of time, so it's low level stimulation for a 12-hour period of time. He said, I bet it'll work well in conjunction. So he started using it with his patients. He was blown away. Watch the video. He's blown away. He goes, oh my goodness. So he now says, if you want to be a patient of mine, you must be wearing this patch. It's pretty interesting. So we got other people that you look at the before and after picture. So I tell people all the time, start using this. I told a gal yesterday, I said, take some before and after pictures of your face, other areas, different challenges you might have. We had someone said they had challenges with different things on their legs, stuff like that. I said, take pictures. And once again, look at day 1, day 42, day 55. A year later, I personally think she looks like a younger sister. That's just me. Now, again, this is what she looks like now. Actually, there's an updated picture that she looks even better than that now. And she's older. You know what I mean? So to me, she looks like her daughter. I mean, that's just an example when we talk about anti-aging versus age reversing. This is an age reversing problem. They prove it scientifically. Here's another person basically working in the rafters, working in the ceiling, fell through the rafters, basically broke 6 ribs, punctured his lung, talking about extreme discomfort. I got another word for that. But anyway, when he expected recovery was a minimum of 6 weeks. He was back to work within 3 weeks. Look at the dates here. I mean, look at the 17th here, the 23rd. That's 13-day difference. That's not normal, people. I'll tell you that right now. We've had a lot of people look at this and go, oh my goodness. We have a friend of ours, Mitch, is a good friend of ours, that he literally had the same thing. He got someone hit him on his bicycle and he was bruised, broken ribs. The doctor was amazed at how quickly he recovered because of this amazing patch. Other things, you look at skin conditions, all kinds of everything. We could show hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials, but again, there's just some examples of different things. You look at people like this guy's got serious baggage. Now, it didn't happen overnight, but look at the difference. If you don't notice a difference, this will help your eyesight as well. It's pretty amazing what happens. But here's a friend of mine. You want to talk about a friend?
So this is a good friend of mine. She is a realtor out in the Florida area. And when I met her probably about almost 5 years ago now, she told me she had a condition with her hair. It's an autoimmune, and she tried absolutely everything, having injections in her head and on her scalp, and different shampoos, different supplements, and her hair just would not grow. It would fall out in chunks. And, it's very disheartening, because I think any woman is, just losing a little bit of hair is terrible. Just imagining living like that. Anyway, she invested in many wigs and hats to cover that up, because, she has to be out in public, and she wanted to obviously look presentable and for self-confidence purposes. And, when we were introduced to the X39, we don't give any guarantees, but, I saw, that it said collagen production and different things. And I thought to myself, I have to share this with her. It's like really my social responsibility to do so. Because I knew it was helping a lot of people, and I did. But I did say this to her, and I say it to everybody, is, I have no idea what it's going to do for you, but I know it's helping a lot of my friends and family, okay? Because I don't want to give any guarantees. And what I do is I always send them the website. This is at info.com, and you'll see it later. We'll share it with you. So I don't try and explain what it's going to do inside of her, etc. So I told her to watch it, and she said to me, okay, great. I'm going to take a look at this. And, she came back to me and she said, I want to order that. She said, I've tried absolutely everything. What do I have to lose? And that is her before and after picture. Mm-hmm. You can see there's a significant growth, a lot of hair growth there. Mm-hmm. And she's not wearing her wigs and her hats anymore. And people started to realize, without them even telling her, she wasn't telling anybody else. She only told those close to her about her condition. She hid it really well. But, people were starting to say things like, your hair's shiny. It looks so full. It looks beautiful, And, she's happily carrying on life without those wigs that are so hot to wear, I think, in humidity. Here in Florida, could be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing you got to remember, too, it didn't happen overnight. This took a lot of time, took months and months and months to happen. But again, over time, she started noticing a difference, dramatic difference, which is pretty amazing. So I'd love for you to share real quick, maybe a little bit about, I'm going to stop sharing here.
So I never had all those crazy aches and pains. Okay. I was good, except I was waking up in the morning with inflammation in my hands. I wasn't sleeping at night. For many, many years, I would struggle to fall asleep because my head races, filled with everybody else's problems. Because as a lawyer, that's what you do. You solve people's problems. And I would often go to bed worrying about everybody and just never being able to sleep. And if I did rest or get a 2-hour period of rest, any pin drop would wake me up and I'd be awake for the rest of the night. So that and some inflammation. And I really I wasn't going to use this for the sleep because I had no idea that that was going to happen. I saw Greg's result and I was like, there's no ways that I'm going to let him get this experience without me. So I'm going to use it myself and let's see what happens. Well, lo and behold, about a week and a half later, my hands were no longer stiff. I mean, they used to be like fat sausages, sorry to say, but literally they were like stiff and at the joints and very itchy. I had terrible little allergy, like little blisters that would form between the digits, and I had to wear gloves doing everything. And a week and a half later, my sleep was the first thing I noticed. I slept like an absolute baby, and I was like, I can't believe that. I woke up in the morning, I was so well rested, and I had so much energy, and I just, was focused on doing what I had to do for the day. Got to bed later that night and my head hit the pillow, I was gone, and it's been like that ever since. My hands, the stiffness went. There's no inflammation anymore. My feet are not tender when I get out of bed in the morning. I noticed this only a while later because I didn't think about it. But I was walking up the staircase and I would hear creak, creak, my knees,
Is this staircase creaking or is that you, honey?
I remember a friend of ours coming over and she didn't want to go upstairs. She says, my knees creak. I don't want you to hear my knees creaking. So I would hear my knees doing this. And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. They don't do that anymore. I'm like, wow,
The stairs don't creak anymore either.
And then my strength, I have gotten so much stronger, I travel a lot and sometimes I travel on my own, and you take your roll-on bag and you've got to put in the overhead, and mine is always like packed to the max. And so I get on and I'm lifting it up and I look around to see if somebody will help me, and inevitably there's somebody who offers help. But the last few occasions I get in there, pick up the bag and it's up and over, and I'm not even sweating. It's like, I was like, oh my gosh, something's happened there. Anyway, all these little things, that my hair growing so long, so thick, my hairdresser wants to know what on earth is going on. My esthetician, a new lady that I saw, she was blown away. She started working on my skin and she's like, she got silent. And I'm like, is something wrong? And she's like, I don't believe your skin. Like, you need to tell me what you're doing, And so I had to give her like a whole rundown of what I do. Of what I do in the morning, right through the day. And literally, she's actually started to implement those things for herself and for people that come in to see her.
I'm like, are you familiar with this little patch?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So, but thank you for sharing that. That's awesome because again, a lot of people don't know a little bit about that. We share a lot of other testimonials, but for the sake of time today, we're going to continue on and share a little bit more about some of the other things. But the one thing we do tell people is go to the website, go to thisisitinfo.com. Write that down. Thisisitinfo.com. You also want to go there at the very top. You can click on testimonials. When you go to testimonials, otherwise you'll see a little menu button if you're on your mobile phone, and then you'll see all these different testimonials. And when you click on these, there's usually 2, 3, 4, or 5 videos in each of these things, and we're adding them all the time. So as you get testimonials, you might end up on the website because of a little of the differences that it's making in people's lives. But the big thing we want to do is shift right now for literally the next really 10 minutes to explain to you a little bit more about from an opportunity standpoint. But I want you to look at these words here because again, things mean different things to different people. So when I look at this, the first thing that stands out to me was family. I mean, that's for us. We're big on family. My wife's from South Africa. Her whole family's in South Africa. I got 2 daughters here. I got my dad and my brother. I live in Michigan. My other brother lives out in Portland and stuff like that. But we love spending time together. We love spending time with family and friends. And time's a big thing because that's the one commodity you can't get back, right? But for me, the biggest word that became very, very prominent to me a couple years ago was freedom. I had worked for a company, digital marketing. I was very successful, and literally the last 2 years I worked there, they went from more of a mentorship program to a tour mentorship program. Is the only way I can explain it. They used a program called Salesforce against us, tracked everything that we're doing. Oh, you didn't make these calls. You got to do this. It was bad. That's the only word I can use. It was just not good. I became less and less productive, made less and less money. I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me do what I do. Go bug someone who's not doing their, what they're supposed to be doing. But again, so I literally saw this business and I saw what people are doing and how people are helping other people. I'm like, this is my pathway to freedom. And within 14 months, replaced my six-figure income. 2 months later, fired my job. I said, give my job to someone who needs it. Literally walked into Land of Living back on January 8th, 2024, earlier this year, and literally everything's changed. Since then, we've doubled our income. We're going to double it again by the end of the year. And if you understand business and where growth is going on, we're explaining to you what's happening here. If you like that idea, we're going to talk about how you can do that for yourself. But the big thing that we hear from a lot of people, the number one need of most women is security. We're not talking about fences and barbed wire things. We're talking about financial security. And one thing we love doing, we love traveling. But a lot of times people, once again, might have a lot of wealth, but they don't have their health. So they'll spend their health, they'll waste their health to get their wealth, and then they'll spend their wealth to get back healthy again. So what we want to do is also help people become totally debt free. That's our mission for helping this year, next year, helping a lot of people become debt free. And it's exciting to see what's going on. So the company itself is growing like crazy. You want to talk a little bit about these next couple of things?
So LifeWave now is ranked momentum number one with businessforhome.org. So we're the fastest growing network marketing business in the entire world. And this is the team. Well, this is our team lead, Stephen Gina Merritt. And they are, and this is a team. They are the team lead of this is a team, the fastest growing team in all of LifeWave. And they received the Bravo Award by Direct Selling Network in 2024. And this is Meredith Burkett, who's the president of LifeWave. And this is David Schmidt, who's the founder and inventor and CEO of LifeWave. And here is them receiving the Bravo Growth Award.
Which is pretty amazing.
So this is it. Team sales are surpassing LifeWave sales. So we are the blue line, and this is LifeWave sales, and this is a team sales. So we're definitely doing the majority of the volume for LifeWave.
It's pretty amazing. So how we make the money is pretty simple. We really make money by helping other people. We expose people to the product, and I always tell people, say, do you want to pay retail or would you like to get it wholesale? I've never had anybody say retail yet. Everybody's like, can I get it wholesale? Absolutely, that's me too. And then I said, well, would you like the opportunity to get your product for free? They're like, yeah, how does that work? And then I share with them about developing a referral network. And so some people are like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm just like, who are 4 people you know? Would you like to get your product for free? Just introduce us to 4 people you know. But what happens in reality is that you get registered as a brand partner. Whether or not you want to build a business or not, you get it at the wholesale price. That's how you get it wholesale. So what happens getting it wholesale is now you actually got some people you might refer. You've had people on the right. You basically build a right team and a left team. This is known in the industry as a binary. And as a binary, I didn't know much about binaries. Now I understand it. And I'm like, this is the greatest compensation plan we've ever seen. So what happens here is now when you put 2 people on the right and put 2 people on the left, you become what's called a manager. So this becomes the building block. So imagine duplicating this over and over and over again. You doing again, but this person bringing in 4 people, this person bringing in 4 people, so on and so forth. But now this person says, I want to go manager, this person, I want to go manager, and they basically bring people in. Now when you have a manager to the right or manager on the left, you become a director. And then you can now make up to $2,500 a week. As a manager, make up to $1,500 a week. I look at that. That's significant income if you understand that. Now it doesn't start there, but you might make 100 a week, then the next week 200, then 300 or 500 and 1,000. It keeps on growing as your basis the network grows. But there are people that are above you that will be also placing people underneath you because they only can build 2 legs. So they actually help you build what's called a power leg. And what happens is now you're basically responsible for building 2 legs, and we help you do that. So what happens in there is, once again, helping you get manager done. We help people get manager done usually the first week. So when people say, I want to get this done, we help them do it. Sometimes people are, they say, well, I want to, wait a little bit, or I don't want to, whatever. We just encourage them to talk to a few people and allow us to talk to you. We've had people that do that in one day. They do a Zoom meeting like this, and in one day they become a manager. Then what happens is they found a couple people that should become 2 managers. Now they're a director. Now, once again, you find 2 directors, you become a senior director, up to $3,500 a week. And I'm just going to pause here. We can never make income claims, but everything we've seen for all the people that we're working with, if we help them do this and they listen to us and they build things the right way, they're making a minimum of $1,000 a week. So I'm going to ask you a question. If you had an extra $1,000 a week on top of what you're doing right now, how would your life change? And if it was growing every single day, and it literally continued growing to the point where literally you grow to the point of being executive director and start making a 6-figure income, that's where I was able to quit my job, Lily. And then 6 weeks later, think about this, because of momentum, we actually hit the presidential director here. And then 3 weeks ago, we hit senior presidential director. We hit the highest rank within the company. The potential is huge. You can make up to $25,000 a week with here. It's capped there, not bad, not a bad cap, 1.3 million. But this is one of 4 ways we make money. The next way is going to blow your mind. This was the one that kept me up at night, so keeps me up at night, thinking about, oh my goodness, the more people we help, the more they compensate us. So our goal is actually register someone as a brand partner. And when we do that, they make actually we make 25% of whatever they're doing. So I'll use my daughter Bella for a second. She's on here right now. So again, my goal for my daughter Bella is to help her make $25,000 a week. Why? Because again, as she does that, I get 25%, or my wife and I get 25% of helping her do that. That's $6,250 a week. Not bad, but it's not going to start there. Help her if we help her make $100, we make 25. Or help make $1,000 a week, we make 250. If we help her make 10,000 a week, right? We make 2,500, and it goes all the way to 25,000. But what happens is Bella, she's got a bunch of people. She said, you know what? I got people I want to help, so we're now helping those people. I'll say pick on Ricardo. So we want to help Ricardo actually make over $25,000 a week. Why? Because again, it helps my daughter Bella, helps us. And they're not complaining, trust me, they're making a lot of money. And then they're bringing people in. So my daughter Bella's making 25% of them. So because that's her personal. Now what happens is that Ricardo brings somebody in. Some people on this call right now, Barb. So again, just became manager. So now, which is exciting because now she's basically bringing 20% on that. Now that's not about us, it's about what you can do. So my daughter Bella is very excited that Ricardo and Barbara and all the other people that Barbara sponsored are also doing that. But what happens here in reality is this is unlimited. You can make as much money as you want. We have a couple that we work with, Steve and Gina Mary. They show them they're making very, very big income, more money in typically a week than most people make in a year. Think about that for a second. So it's unlimited, so you can make it whatever you want. But again, we can't make an income claims. We can't say, because it's based upon, even says on here, Lifeways makes no promises or guarantees regarding income. The success or failure of each Lifeway brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills, your personal effort. You should not rely on results of other Lifeway business partners as an indicator of what you will earn. So once again, the good part about this is you make as much as you want, but it is based upon your effort and what you're willing to do. If you're willing to become a good student and learn and be a part of the mentorship program, which is pretty huge. So how we actually make this all happen is by registering, in the business. So really, the thing I love about it is you can pay retail. But I tell people, let's get a wholesale. So what does wholesale mean? Well, you got to buy at least 3 sleeves, which is a 90-day supply. Each sleeve is a 30-day supply. There's 30 patches in here. So each of these sleeves is a 30-day supply. It's a 1-month supply for you. So what you got to do is buy basically at least 3 sleeves. So if it's a husband and wife team, usually got the wife has one, the husband has one, and then basically they have one extra one. And then we put them on 2 sleeve subscription. So now, because we want them to use it for at least 90 days. If it's a single person, once again, this will be a 90-day supply. But a lot of times we have people that are saying, well, I just want to do this, but can I use mine and share them with other people? Absolutely. We recommend that. In fact, as the advanced pack, for people who want to actually build a business, you get 6 sleeves for less money even. So it's less than even $100. So $535 is basically for 6 sleeves. Not bad, right? So when you look at that from a standpoint, people go, well, I don't need 6 sleeves. Well, great. What we do is say, hey, when you register, if they're local to us, like the gentleman that I'm taking care of today, Lily, I said, hey, tell you what, if you get registered today, I'll give you one of my sleeves. I'll lend you one of my sleeves. Lending is a key word. I lend you one of my sleeves. And what you're going to do is when yours comes in 3, 4, 5 days later, you're just going to give me one back. So I'm going to place it with you and you're just going to replace it and give it back to me. And we just started doing that. We actually signed up for the biggest pack, the premium pack, 20 sleeves. And then what happened, we started exchanging with people back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And within 2.5 weeks, we made that money back. Why? Because when you register somebody at the core level, the one way we make money, another way we make money is basically when you register somebody at the core, you make $35. You register somebody at the advanced level, you make $75. When you register somebody at the premium level, sorry?
85.
Okay, we'll check on that. So $75. So what happens at the premium level, what happens is you make $405. There we go. She knows that one. So $405. So what happens is by doing that, we register a couple premiums, so several advanced and several core, and all of a sudden, boom, we made that money back. Our first month, we doubled that. So that's when you understand what can happen when you actually start sharing this with others. And our focus, we took it off ourselves and just shared it with other people. Let's help other people. And by doing that, we start hearing all these testimonials coming back. So a lot of them are some of the different ones you've heard us use. And then what happens is literally those people start sharing with others and then things really explode. Yeah. And the key to that is getting people on the subscription.
And the other thing is the price is reduced even further. You're paying $87.50 for a sleeve. And you also, we have to, you'll see it says here, importance of being on monthly X39 subscription. That is really, really important because you'll see these points here, like this says 300 BV. It's business volume. Every time you buy a sleeve of this, it's equivalent of 77 BV. So if you have 100 people buying a sleeve a month, okay, underneath you, that's 7,700, right?
Yep.
My mess. 7,700 points underneath you. And it's important to stay on the monthly subscription, because if you go inactive, not on monthly subscription, the points zero out.
Yep.
They will bypass you to the next person, and you will not benefit. The points turn into dollars. They become dollars. They translate it into dollars. So it's important to stay on authorship. The other reason why we like the premium package is because we didn't have to think about the authorship for the month of our purchase and 2 months thereafter. We could just go out there and sow as much seed as we could until, we were ready to properly launch with an authorship.
So the day they're recording right now is October 23rd. So people who register with the premium pack, you basically cover for October, November, and December. So you don't have to buy anything until January 23rd, which to me is great. And you got plenty of product to share with others. Again, that's an awesome benefit. So once again, we recommend going to thisisit.info.com, and This Is It Team. This Is It Team is the team website. It's not password protected. You can go right there tonight. Look at, once again, where it talks about the LifeWave compensation plan. Watch some videos where they go over more details of this. And once again, people say, how do I get started? And that's what we tell people. So the thing to this is that there's a pro system that we use. PRO stands for patch, revisit, and opportunity. So what we do is we expose this to people daily. That's what we do, and we revisit with them. So we call it 3-3-1. You can do whatever you want to do, but basically you talk to 3 people a day about this, new people every day, not the same people over and over and over. 3 new people a day, follow up with the three people that you already talked to, and then basically you can get one person to a meeting like this. Now again, if you say I want to do a 10-10-10, I can do that too. You can do whatever you want to do. It's up to you how fast you want to grow. And so that's the best part about this, is a system in place, and we teach people, we mentor people, coach people. And those of you that are in part of our team understand how much time we spend helping people, because that's our passion. We want to help people not only succeed, but expose us to as many people as we can, because we're changing lives around the world. There's a great Facebook page I recommend once they go into Facebook groups. This Is a Team. There's a YouTube channel. There's all kinds of stuff. I've got a YouTube channel this is being recorded on right now, and we'll send a link to you later for that. But there's also all these other lunch meetings are going on, including tonight. Steve and Gina Merritt are doing the meeting tonight. I took this graphic. It's very, very blurry. I apologize because I couldn't find the right graphic, but it's actually 8 o'clock tonight, where you can hear the top leaders in this whole industry explain this. Once again, you can write down the Zoom ID, or you can go to This Is It Team, the YouTube channel. Go to This Is It Team, and you'll see the live one tonight. But you definitely want to subscribe to the channel. So again, we have books of the month that we do all kinds of different stuff. We got Rise Up event that's happening actually in January and stuff like that. But the biggest part to this, more than anything else, it's really your time to make a move. If you say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. In fact, I have people go, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired about sick and tired about sick and tired. And once again, we tell you, if you're serious about your dreams, we can help you accomplish your dreams. Our dreams have been coming true this year with incentive trips and all kinds of stuff that we could talk to you about personally. But once again, it says this hope, there is hope. This is hope for your future. So we tell people we're hope dealers, not dope dealers. So that's one thing we want to do, is help people have more hope. And we want to get people started with X39. So get back together with the person who introduced this to you, who brought you on tonight, or if you see this as a recording, once again, get back with them, say, how do I get started? And they're going to say, 3, 2, 1, launch. A 3 is someone who says, well, I'm not interested. A 2 is someone who says, I may be interested in just buying the product, which is great. We'll help you do that, get the wholesale price, and then we'll leave you alone. If you want to refer people, that'd be awesome. And a 1 is like, I want to get going, when we say launch, and we help them launch, and we help them get started in helping as many people as possible. So again, if you've got dreams and those words, pictures talk to you, she said, I like the idea of freedom, I like the idea of spending more time with my family, I like the idea of traveling, I like you being debt free, that's what we can help you do. So God bless you guys. We're gonna let you go now, and then otherwise have a great night. Yep.
Yeah. And if there is anyone on here that you were invited to be on, and you're ready to get started, please do let us know, and we can help you do that this evening.
Absolutely. Fantastic. We look forward to working with you and helping you any way we can, but get back together.